I have an auto repair facility and also a car dealership, a used car dealership. And I have one of the members of NOTA contacted me when their third child was born with tyrosinemia in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, the newborn screening in Puerto Rico was not up to par, and they needed to get out of there. They had no treatment, they couldn't get access to reliable medicine or any of the specialized food that they needed. So they dropped everything that they were doing. The mother was a registered nurse, and the father worked as a TV installer. And they just left their families, left everything they had, the little bit of savings they had, and took Laura, their baby, and moved to Connecticut so that they could be closer to Yale Hospital. There they found out that they didn't need the liver transplant that they thought they needed because there is treatment available for tyrosinemia. So they put her on the treatment, they got all the assistance that they needed, and they took the little bit of money that they had, and without speaking to me, they went and bought a Volkswagen Passat, a 2001, which was a terrible idea. The car was garbage, and it shortly thereafter, the engine blew up, and they were then left in essentially a foreign country with no car and no money and nothing. So I took it upon myself to tell them, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get you a car, because it's important to mention that Laura, being their third child, has tyrosinemia. She was only about 4 months old at the time. Their other two children were undiagnosed with tyrosinemia and passed away. One at 4 months old and the other one at 13 months old. So the family had gone through enough. And I have an auto repair shop. I have cars. That's something that I could do. So I spent a lot of time trying to find the right car, because they're 300-400 miles away from me. I knew that it was a car that I was essentially never going to see again for service. I needed to make sure that the car was safe, reliable, and I didn't ever have to do anything to the car again, that they could just get oil changes on it and they'd be fine. I can't give them a bad car. Well, a long-time customer of mine decided to finally trade in her Honda Accord. And I had done all the service on this car for a decade. And I knew the car was perfect. There was nothing wrong with the car. She was only upgrading for upgrade purposes. It was just time for her, and she was able to afford a newer car, and so she did. And as she was buying the car from me, the new car, I was sitting in my office with her, and I went, I know what I'm going to do with your car. I know exactly what I'm doing with your car. And she's like, what? I said, there's a family. I explained the whole situation to her. I said, I'm donating your car. I said, I'm paying you for your car and your trade-in and all that. I said, but that's where your car is going to go. That's it. So I immediately called Noella, which is the mother, and I told her, I said, I got a car for you. I got it. And I sent her a bunch of pictures, and they were so happy. So we went over the car. While it was in good shape, I didn't want to leave any stone unturned. We did all the maintenance. We did maintenance ahead of schedule. We did any repairs it made. I made this car like brand new again. And I called them about a week later and said, come on down, come get your car. And they came down, and we had dinner, and they took their beautiful Honda Accord home, and now that's one less thing that they have to deal with. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a win.